Hello, welcome back. For Arn here once more again, and today for another figure review, as we're going to be doing another My shfiguarts figure. This one right here is actually a Kamen Rider one. And without further ado, let me show you what I got. And back to what I got, I was actually able to acquire this on my day off when I went cruising around. This right here is the shfiguarts of Mask Rider 2, right here. Now, as you see already on the box beforehand, this is technically already an opened used figure, as I did find this in a retro DVD store. Like I said before, I was on my day off. I was actually just journeying around or adventuring around, just seeing what I could find, and ended up finding this DVD store. I don't know where, a little bit more further than where I live. I did buy a good couple of TV shows and movies from there too, along with them. But what's it called? But this right here was what caught my eye. Another shfiguarts. Usually don't see this out of the wild in any other places. I mean, usually unless you're going to like an anime store or whatnot, or one of the bigger places. Usually they sell them, but usually like those off places, it's a rarity right there. But you know what? I picked this out, really glad. I only paid like $28 for this because it's already a figure. But what's it called? And it's actually one of my favorite designs of the show era of Kamen Rider. Actually, right here, he's looking pretty good. And yes, for those who want to know, everything's in the box. Don't worry about it. The effect parts, the manipulator hands, and all that, they're still in the box. I did check beforehand before leaving the store and whatnot. Just wanted to make sure. Overall, this is how he looks in the backside. Overall, pretty good. Posability and everything else. I have no clue when this came out. I'm actually going to try to look for this a little bit more hand. But yeah, overall looks pretty good. So without further ado, let's go with the unboxing of the figure. And we're back in now, time to unbox the figure. As I already kind of mentioned before, the figure's already been open. As is, like I said before, it is already a used figure, so I mean, it's still technically new. It's just what's it called, it's already been open already. So all that, so everything's still in there. So sliding it out, it's actually going to be pretty easy. The box is a little bit more beat up, but you know, that's kind of fine for this. You have the manual right here for the figure right here, which is actually not bad at all. It kind of shows how the figure's supposed to be. The scarf is also replaceable, which is really nice. We got the manipulator hands that can swap over, and the effect parts for the kick, for the rider kick, like we always see in our riders. And that's pretty much it for the manual. Not bad at all. The box is basically empty. The only thing there is basically the backdrop, which you usually see right here for all the shfiguarts. It's actually in a kind of metallic silver right there. It's actually not bad. Just kind of do like that, I'm going to be honest. Putting the box away to the side for the meantime. And now we have Mask Rider 2. Basically still sealed up, actually. Still in. So I don't think this is just a used figure, just an open figure. Which I think is a little bit much better than it being used. Everything still looks pretty great. We got the effect part right there. Not bad at all. The manipulator hands all the way right here. You have the extra scarf right there. Overall, even before getting him unboxed out of the plastic, he actually looks pretty nice. I really do like the design of this. I really do like the old style of like show era characters, and they're all retro, so I actually do kind of like this. So now, time to unbox him. Pretty sure there's no tape, because I don't even have my knife. I mean, technically I do have the knives, but they're away right now, so let's hope there's no... Okay, good, there's no tape. I don't have to deal with that. So unboxing him first. First things first, let's go with the effect parts. This right here is the effect part for the rider kick. We'll do a little bit pose of this later down in the video. I will promise to do that. Overall, it's pretty nice. I really do like the effect parts. Bandai has really learned how to do these a lot over the years, especially if you build Gundam a lot of kids and you get effect parts. They really do well on these, especially with a lot of the shfiguarts. And then kind of want to do this. Now we have the extra scarf right here, which is actually pretty nice. Actually in that good bright red, shiny red right there. It's actually pretty nice for the extra piece of the scarf right here. I'm gonna fall off all the manipulated hands. Yep, kind of figured out what's gonna happen. And then we got a bunch of hand pieces right there for manipulation. See right there, we got all these hands. I really should do the camera right there. Got a bunch of hands right there for different manipulations. We got the holding hands, we got fist hands, we got grapple hands, we got action poses hands for when doing fighting poses right there. Pretty nice. We got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 was the ones already on the rider himself. With the extra scarf right there, so that's 2 pieces of scarf right there, so no problem at all. And now, time to take the rider out. So time to get him out of the plastic. And he falls off pretty easy, so that's pretty nice. And boom, Mask Rider 2. Overall, that's actually pretty looking good. And you know what? I was probably right. The box was just probably just open box. Overall, the figure actually looks pretty great. Doesn't look like any damage to the figure itself. Overall, pretty looking good. Actually, looks pretty new. So I think it was just basically just an open damage box, which is always good. Being able to get something that just basically looks new. The fact that I found this in a retro shop and it's actually being new and not basically used and old, that's actually pretty great. You can see right there, none of the paint is scratched and all that. It still has like all the original coloring right there. All the detail work looks pretty nice, pretty great. That's actually pretty good. Very shiny. You actually see the eyes right there. Kind of reminds you of a bug. Can I show this? Yeah, right there. If I'm showing this correctly, you should see the bug eyes. Oh, no. There we go. I should see. Okay, right there. You should be able to see the eyes. Right there, because under the mask right there, under the clear red right there, you can see kind of like the multiple dots that you see with bug eyes, which is pretty great. Scarf right there, coloring's pretty good. You can see right there. You can see the belt right there in its spinning motion. Actually, that's what I really like about this. Belt's looking pretty good. Pants right there, pretty great. There's no scratch marks or anything on it, so that's pretty good. Boots and everything else, pretty good coloring. Overall, figure looks pretty good, pretty nice. Now let's go with posability. First thing was head right there. Head's able to pose around, move around pretty good. That's spinning him around. I hope I don't break him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because he is basically a new figure. He's going to be a little bit tough on tight. Overall, be able to move around pretty great. Spin around. Don't kind of want to do fully without actually playing with it a little bit much more better. Got to be careful on the V-fin, because they move. I don't know if they're supposed to move like that, but you know what? I'll just be careful on them, and I don't want to break them. The scarf is able to spin around, no problem at all. It's not kind of like these. Scarf's basically movable, so that's pretty great. So basically, whenever you do poses, they would move. Let's move over here. Let's move the arm. Arm's on this ball joint. So trying to move it around, that's actually pretty nice. Able to go all the way up right there. Down. Spin around. Overall pretty great. And we're able to go all the way there on the extension of the arms. And it is double jointed, so the arm's able to go there and all the way there. Pretty nice. And like what we see with hands, it's on ball joints, swivel ball joints, so basically it's able to move up and down, no problem at all. Actually right there, pretty great. Torso right there is on one of those double lap joints right there, as we are already acquainted with shfiguarts figures. And also Figmas as well, if you do have Figma, so that's pretty great. So torso is able to go that way, up and down, no problem at all. Same thing for the lower abdomen. Left and right, move around, pretty good. Spin around, I could go more, but I kind of want to rip the belt. Belt's also movable too for the waist size, so that's pretty nice. Not all the way, but yeah, it's good as you want it to. Legs are able to do almost split. If I can try to get the figure a little bit more. But you know what? That's as far as we're going to get with the figure without trying to break it. I'm going to be honest. Overall, pretty nice. Not bad at all. I feel like if I could probably adjust it, I could probably do the split all the way. But like I said, I kind of want to break this. I just got this right now. Overall, still looking pretty nice. Oh, we actually are able to extend the legs. That's actually one of the things I like about shfiguarts. Legs able to go all the way there, all the way back, all the way to the side. And because it does have the extending motion right there, so it can actually go up and down on the joint. So that's actually pretty great. Legs able to double bend because it's on double bend joint, so that's pretty great. Make him go on a pose right now. On one of those, I guess you would call those iconic jumping poses right there. Pretty nice. Feet are also on ball joints too, so basically spin around, up and down, left and right, no problem at all. And then the toe has that movement of base going up and down, which is pretty nice. Overall, articulation is pretty good. 8. Almost lost him right now for a second. Overall, oh no! Lost the foot. You lost the foot. Okay, good. Actually, it's not a ball joint, so that's actually pretty great. That was something I was not expecting. There we go. And it pops right back up. Overall, articulation for the figure is pretty great. That's what we want for our figures, folks. To be able to articulate as much as possible. Now we are gonna go with, you know what, size comparison. Let's go with some other figures and model kits that I have lying around that I can just compare size with. So let's start off with another of a rival franchise of Super Sentai. We have my white Dino Ranger right here, who's a little bit much more bigger, as he's kind of like much more bigger size, as he is technically more of an action figure compared to Masked Rider 2 is more of a, technically it's also action figure 2, but more of a, more articulation right there. And the only difference between size the Masked Rider 2 is between like 5.5 and almost below 6 inches, while White Dino Ranger is basically 6.5 with the way his horns is. I can see the difference between basically full figure action figure versus like a little bit much more modernized, a little bit much more playful articulation and much more detailed. Overall, still pretty good figures regardless. I will say I really need to build the rest of my riders, if I'm going to be honest, when I do these comparisons. Then going with Gunpla, we have the channel mascot himself, who is still shorter, regardless of whatever figure or what I put, because what's called. I already learned my straws very tiny and short. Which I was going to say same thing to my Bill Burning, but it's still also technically short too. I was going to go with fire effect forms, which not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of sad about. Then going was actually one of my other shfiguarts figures. We're actually going to go with my Dragon Ball Z ones, which we have my Super Saiyan full powered Goku right here, who's a little bit only taller just for the fact that his hair is very more spikier. With this actually Goku being the 6.5, which is actually pretty nice. And going from Goku, we got my other shfiguarts figures as well, because I only have 2 right now that I've done the unboxings, which I'm pretty sure we did the unboxing for Super Saiyan Trunks, who I actually do like my design, who I like design-wise too. And not gonna lie, actually putting Trunks alongside Masked Rider 2, if I can actually get one of those like custom designs where I actually probably do like a full face mask version of Trunks, he could probably become his own Kamen Rider in his form too. I was planning on doing a customization with this version of Trunks since I already have 2 of these, but I'm not gonna run doing that, I'm gonna be honest. And talking about Figmas and everything else, here's my very first Figma I ever got in my collection, my Mordred, and her full armor. And I was gonna, Mordred, I need you to stand. I know the little plastic, I know the mat's a little bit rubbery and it's not fully full articulation. There we go. We're gonna have to hold Mordred for this one, folks. I do apologize for that one. But Mordred right here was my first Figma, so basically, and also the only other of my Figmas that has full body armor articulation, kind of like this right here. Well, second to next, because I do have Goblin Slayer. That's the only other figure I have that's kind of like similar to like a Masked Rider. Going from Mordred, and talking about Goblin Slayer, I do have my Figma Goblin Slayer right here. It basically is around the same size as Masked Rider 2, and is able to stand on his own. As also, the only reason I also blame is I do technically blame the mat because the wrap's a little bit more rubbery, and the feet, though I could probably articulate the feet a little bit better. Can I? Yes. No. I really gotta work on the articulation on the feet sometimes on these figures. Not gonna lie. Oh, wait. Yes. You can do this. Come on, Mordred. You can stand. Stop sliding. Why do you have to slide? That's my word. That's heels. Come on. That's fine. You know what? That's fine. Either way, that was called Goblin Slayer. Basically, it's almost just a little bit much more taller, I think. Or no. I think they're actually the same size. I think just by the helmet of Goblin Slayer, it actually might be a little bit taller. I think. But overall, they look exactly the same size. Now going for my Goblin Slayer, and I got one more before we go to final thoughts. And this was actually going to be one of my older figures, and actually going to be a size smaller. My Master Chief, my McFarlane figures Master Chief that I actually got back when I was a kid. Still figure one of my older figures I've actually had for the longest time. He's actually going to be pretty short, if I'm going to be honest. He's actually around the 5-inch mark. Actually much more shorter. He's actually probably around the same height as my Estrella, which actually is going to be funny. Estrella now has like one of the rivals. But for those who want to know, I've had this Master Chief since basically 2007. Back when Halo 3 came out. There's a little bit of like a side tangent note. What's it called? I've had this like for the longest time. It's actually one of my older figures that I have not lost, and I'm happy about that because this is like one of those figures you can't get anymore. But yeah. Now without further ado, folks, let's go with final thoughts. And with that away, folks, that is it for the review for my shfiguarts Masked Rider 2. Overall, pretty nice little figure. Despite the fact that it's already an open box figure, it still looks great. It was actually I eventually found out that It was not used. It's just an open box figure. Everything was still inside. Everything's still great. The figure looks still new, regardless of anything. There's no paint scratches or anything. Figure's still pretty great. Articulation for it was pretty nice overall. I really liked it. Accessory was pretty great. It's got a bunch of manipulated hands right there to be able to use and all that. It's got the effect parts you can see right here for its rider kit, which I actually do like. Though I will say I really wish I had found the stand for it I was looking for this one. Not gonna lie, because I do have a stand to basically hold stuff, but I have no clue where it's at. Overall, still looks good despite I had to make a makeshift stand for that one. Overall, pretty good. Overall, still looks a really great figure, but I do say so myself. And yeah, if you'd like the video, please consider dropping a like, share, subscribe. I always do appreciate it, folks. And as always, have a nice day. This is Power and signing out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.